Don't pick a niche after 50. I want you to do this instead if you want to make money from YouTube. We're going to talk about your constraints first, because you can pick a great niche. You can pick something that people are searching for on YouTube. You can even pick something that you know that you could make money from. But if the kind of channel that you've chosen to create doesn't really fit the life that you actually have, there's a pretty good chance that you're not going to stick with it. And especially after 50, I think this matters so much more. Because a lot of us, we still have full-time jobs, and some of us are taking care of parents or keeping our grandkids like me. You may even still have kids at home, Lord bless you. But maybe you're getting closer to retirement and you want to build something that gives you some extra income, but you want to be able to do it and not create another 40-hour-a-week job for yourself. And that needs to be part of your decision when you start. So before you ask yourself, what should my YouTube channel be about? I want you to ask a different question. What kind of YouTube channel actually fits my life? So let me give you an example. Let's say you love to crochet and you've been doing it for years. You're good at it and you think, well, I could teach people how to crochet on YouTube. And I think that is a fantastic idea. But now let's say you work a 9 to 5 and you keep your granddaughter a couple of weekends out of the month, and the type of crochet channel you have in your head involves sitting down, showing people how to make an entire blanket from beginning to end. Well, now that's going to create a problem, because that blanket may take you 15, 20 hours to make. I don't actually know how long it takes to make a blanket, but when you're filming it, it could take you so much longer because you've got to move the camera. You're making sure that people can see your hands. You may have to redo some things because the camera wasn't positioned in the right spot. Then you've got hours of footage that somebody has to edit. And if that somebody is you, you may have picked the wrong niche. But that version of a crochet channel may be just wrong for you. And that's a big difference. You need to think about it from a different angle. Maybe instead you teach crochet through shorter projects. Maybe you make videos about common mistakes. Maybe you compare yarn or tools, or you teach women who've crocheted 20 years ago and they want to pick it back up. It's the same general subject, the same general idea, but it's just a completely different amount of work that you have to do. And that's what I mean by constraints. And I had to learn this on my own channel because I teach YouTube. And some videos are relatively simple, like this one. I can sit down and make this video in about 20, 30 minutes. I can talk to you. I can teach you something that I know, and I can get the video done and have it edited in a couple of hours. But when I make screen share videos showing you exactly how I edit something, or I show you how I film my B-roll, that is a completely different video. Because now I have to film the demonstration, I have to do the screen record, I have to move my camera around a lot. And I have to make a lot of footage that all has to be organized and pieced together in editing. And that can take me hours, if not days. I mean, I still make those kind of videos because they're useful and I find them fun. But I make them less often, and I do it only when I have the time. But I know going into it that I could not build my entire channel around videos that take me that long to produce. It's just one of my constraints. I have a 9 to 5. I do keep my grandkids every now and then. And here's another one. Before I started this channel, I seriously considered starting a travel channel because my husband works for the airlines and we were traveling quite a bit because he was working overseas. And on paper, it made so much sense. I like to travel, we had access to travel, and I could make videos about the places that we went. But there was just one small problem. I hated filming it. I remember the first time I pulled out that camera in an airport and I thought, I'm going to show myself walking through this gate. I didn't like filming around big crowds. I didn't like walking through public places, talking to the camera with everybody standing around staring at me. But although I'm sure they could care less, but still, I didn't like it. And could I have forced myself to get over that? Well, yeah, probably. But did I want to build a business where one of the main things I had to do was something I really didn't enjoy? And so that was my constraint. So I didn't start that channel. I mean, I recorded some videos, but I never put them out there. And I think sometimes we look at our constraints like they're bad things, but they're not. They're actually the things that help us make better decisions. Because if you record your constraints and you think about it first, you know what you can and can't do, because the goal here isn't to find something you could make work in your rearranged life all around it. The goal is to build something that you can keep doing over and over. So I want you to take a look at your real week, not the imaginary week where you wake up at 5 a.m., you exercise, you eat perfect, you filmed 3 videos, and somehow you still have dinner on the table by 6 o'clock. That's not my life. But let's look at your actual week. How much time could you realistically give to YouTube? And that's why I put together a free worksheet called the Weekly Time Audit. It's not about your niche, it's about your time. You track one honest week, and by the end, you know exactly how many hours you actually have you can devote to your content. And it's linked in the description below, so you can go grab it after you watch the video. But I also want to take this a little step further. Don't build your channel around your best week. Think about your worst week. What's that week look like when work is crazy, your grandchild needs you, your mother has a doctor's appointment, or maybe you promised your best friend or neighbor that you'd go water her flowers or feed her dogs while she was on vacation? This is going to be a rough week for you to get in the videos that you need to record. That's the weeks you need to be looking at. And can the channel that you're considering survive that kind of week? Because if every video requires 12 hours of work and you normally only have 4 or 5 hours available, sooner or later, something's got to give. Now, constraints don't always mean time. Let's say instead of teaching crochet or something that you're gardening, you want to build a coaching business. Maybe you went through a difficult divorce in your 50s and life was hard. You rebuilt your life and now you want to help other women do the same. That kind of channel is incredibly easy to produce compared to a crochet tutorial, because all you're doing basically is sit in front of the camera having a conversation. You may be able to sit down, get that video filmed in 30 minutes, and you're out the door. Your constraint is going to be different. Your problem may be clarity on what you want to talk about, because I help women live their best life after divorce. While it sounds awesome, sounds wonderful, but that doesn't actually say what you mean. Are you helping her rebuild her confidence? Or maybe you're helping her figure out who she is now that she's single, or maybe you're helping her with dating. I mean, those are all really different things. Some people are not ready for dating. Some people don't want to be considered single yet. They're all different problems. And if one week you're talking about confidence, and the next week you're talking about dating, and the next week you're talking about finances and decorating your new apartment or your new house, you may eventually realize that nobody really knows what they're coming to you for. So if your channel is built around coaching, and I know a lot of women right now are doing coaching with personal experience and some kind of life transformations, one of your constraints is, can I get specific enough about the change that I want to help this person make? You don't have to solve every problem that they have right now. In fact, I think your business gets a whole lot easier if you don't try to do that. Which brings me to the next thing that I would figure out before choosing a niche. Who do you actually want to help? And I have talked about this over and over in previous videos, and I talked about it just recently, because I think we make niching down much harder than it needs to be. Instead of starting with, I help everybody who has ever gotten divorced, maybe you help women over 50 rebuild their confidence after being married to a narcissist. Just saying. Now I know who you're talking to, and I know what you're helping her do. It's very specific. And that is so much stronger than just simply choosing the divorce as your niche. And then I want you to ask yourself one more question. And I think a lot of new YouTubers wait way too long to ask this question. If this channel works, where's the money going to come from? Because if your goal is to make extra money for retirement or travel or whatever the reason is that you want to make extra money, we should probably think about that before you've made 150 videos. And I'm not saying you have to go out and create a product tomorrow, but I want you to think ahead. With a crochet channel, maybe eventually you could sell patterns and tools, or maybe you create a beginner course. Maybe you use affiliate links for those tools and the yarn that you already recommend. But how do you make money here? And like with a woman helping people rebuild their confidence after divorce, start with a community, and then maybe eventually she has a coaching or a group program or a workshop. And I wouldn't just ask, can this make money? Most topics out there can. I would ask, do I actually want to make money this way? Because that matters too. You may absolutely love a subject, but when you look at the business, would you want to build a business around what you're talking about? Maybe you're going to realize you don't want that kind of business. Do you want one-on-one coaching? Do you want to make courses? That's the kind of things I'm talking about. And it's useful information. So if you're sitting there trying to figure out what your YouTube channel should be about, I would not start with making a giant list of niches. I would start right here. What does my life realistically allow me to do? What do I know enough about or care enough about that I could keep talking about for a long time? Who do I want to help? What specific problem am I helping them solve? And what kind of videos can I realistically make? And if it actually works, how could I make money from it? And once you answer those questions, I think your niche gets a whole lot easier to see, because you're not randomly picking something off of a list. You're actually building your channel around your life and your experience, your time, and the person that you want to help and the business that you actually want to have. And especially if you're starting this after 50, this all matters so much more, because I don't want you to spend the next 5 years figuring out that you accidentally built yourself another job. I want you to build the right thing from the beginning. And if you're just getting started, I made this video here on how to record using just your cell phone and a small microphone, just to make life a little bit easier for you, so that all this is not so hard. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.